In this video, we will crown the best signing in the Premier League this season.
To answer your question, which is what this is about, who would have the more impressive season? It's still Florian Wirtz.
Before you signed Sesko and you signed Gyokeres.
I wanted Gyokeres.
And Dave?
He
wanted
Gyokeres.
100 million quid for Jack Grealish.
Number 10.
Absolute garbage, that. Yeah, not good enough in terms of a signing.
I'm more convinced that Joao Pedro is going to have a better, more impactful season than Viktor Gyokeres. What's happening, everyone, and welcome to WHFC, brought to you by William Hill and powered by Final One Standing, football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game. If you were knocked out last week, then do not worry. There's a new jackpot up for grabs this weekend, so scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the video description for your chance to win. On this episode, we're going to play a game of Final One Standing to work out which player will be the Premier League signing of the season. Gentlemen, we're going to put some of the biggest signings of the summer up against each other over the course of 5 rounds. And the player that makes it all the way to the end will be crowned this week's Final One Standing. Ready?
Let's do it.
Right, let's go. First up, Viktor Gyokeres versus Benjamin Sesko.
Surprising.
Who is going to make a better impact? What do you reckon, Dave?
It's got to be Benjamin Sesko, hasn't it?
Why?
Because he plays Man
Impact
United.
long term. Thinking about the age.
Talking about
No,
this
next season. This season. We've got one. Just look at it as a one-season thing. Who is going to have a better season between those two players?
So why he'll have a better season this season is because I think he'll provide something that Man United haven't had in recent years. Someone that can hold the ball up, that can score goals. It's quite simple in that regard. But also Benjamin Sesko's profile will be perfect for Amman in terms of he likes to drop off the line, receive to feet. He's a really good option when you look into lump long balls up, which United haven't had at all. So then the impact on the style versus a Joshua Zirkzee or Rasmus Højlund will be bigger than the impact that Gyokeres will have at Arsenal, for example. Kai Havertz has played pretty well as a 9.
I don't agree. We've got a massive...
I'm not sure you even agree. Because in a previous video, you said that Gyokeres was the best striker in Europe.
I know it's tough, but sometimes you've got to argue your point, right?
That's what I'm saying. You've done a lot of work for Man United there, I think, yeah.
No, look at all of the stuff around Sesko, and don't forget it started with Arsenal in June. It was Sesko, Gyokeres for 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of the talk of Sesko is all hopes, dreams that the bit part potential he's shown, flourishes at a new side, at a bigger side. It's not often that happens.
Can I ask you both a question?
Straight away.
Before you signed Sesko and you signed Gyokeres.
I wanted Gyokeres.
And Dave?
He wanted
Gyokeres.
I think Gyokeres obviously would be perfect for United at Amman. It makes sense, right? He's had him before. He scored loads of goals on him before. But I think with Benjamin Sesko, what you're going to get is a player that will fit into the Premier League. He's got the speed, the size, the height. He's 6'5". He's very, very good in the air. From his shots in the Bundesliga with his head, he scored 8 goals from 28 shots. Conversion rate of 29%, Rory. That's better than Isak. That's better than Harry Kane. That's better than Erling Haaland. Top strikers. So his ability in the air is very, very good. He's perfect for what Amorim would want. But yeah, Viktor Gyokeres should have been signed instead.
Does it not say something that Arteta would probably prefer Sesko?
It was rumours that
I think it's suited better.
But it's when Berta came in that the kind of shift to Gyokeres seemed to happen. I was wondering if surely your manager knows better.
I'd say he's more along the lines of a Havertz profile up top, but with more of a cutting edge. So maybe he did suit Arteta's plans a bit more, but at the same time, this is why you bring in a sporting director to help challenge. The greatest clubs in history have a sporting director challenging a manager and vice versa. We've got the most lethal striker in Europe, albeit Portuguese league, but
that is a big thing.
Yeah, but the last time that happened, that was Bruno Fernandes, right?
Getting 13 goals in Bundesliga, a big thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just sort of concentrating and trying to pick apart whether or not Gyokeres will be a failure rather than who's better.
You're hoping,
I think I am hoping because we have seen players move from Portugal and it hasn't worked. We've also seen many who have a better career thus far than Sesko come from Germany to England and not work as well. But it's generally down to the profile of the player. I think both are really...
Who's going to have a better season next year, Flav?
I think that Gyokeres has every advantage because he's playing at Arsenal rather than we don't know what Man United are going to be next year. And Sesko is, you would say, is not as far along in his career as his development.
I agree with that rationale. The only problem with it is what's going to be considered good for Manchester United is far easier to get your hands on than what's going to be considered good at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Good for good for Manchester United. Benjamin Sesko will have a good season if he scores 15 and Manchester United finish in the top 6.
Yeah.
Gyökeres will have a good season if he scores 30 and also win the league.
If Gyökeres scores 15 goals, is that league goals?
But that's Havertz numbers.
The number is 20 league goals, 30 all comps. When you sign a striker ready-made, 27, 28 years of age, that's the expectation.
I agree.
So he's got to hit the ground running.
100%. And he talks a good game. The mental side of things, he dismissed United early on. United can offer wages, that we can't. So
Hey, we've dismissed that link, right? Because Newcastle are offering more money for Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
he's now a Man United player. So
You can't throw
hold
Newcastle
on a
in.
minute.
But I just think Gyökeres has shown, he talks of revenge. I don't think revenge is the right word, but he didn't prove himself in England. He's been here already, or at this level.
Something to prove,
England.
isn't it?
Yeah,
100%.
it's big for him, right? This is it. This is the big move of his career.
Yeah.
And look, he was very, very good for Coventry. And we've seen a lot of strikers score goals in the Championship that have scored goals in the Premier League. Physicality is there, the size is there, the speed is there. What I love about him is he in the channels or in the wide areas, he's almost like a winger. How he dribbles, how he carries is something that Arsenal will really improve their side. And that's just more goals. And what Arsenal need is more goals. You look at the last 3 seasons, it's gone dropped every year in terms of goals from open play. It's a big concern. They've been heavily reliant on scoring from set pieces and on the counter attack. So that's something that I feel Viktor Gyokeres will improve.
Right, he's very fluid around the box, and that's something we've lacked in a Havertz or even a Martinelli on the left-hand side. Fluidity in and around the box has stifled us.
Any truth from being a flat track bully?
We'll find out.
So
You'll
he
find out.
scored. He was directly involved in 7 goals in 8 games against Benfica, and directly involved in 9 goals in 7 games against Porto. Scored a hat trick against Manchester City, in the Champions League, which doesn't count, right?
Fine. You had me in the first 2 stats.
Sorry, I just thought I'd bring some out.
Okay, so let's now have a vote.
Yeah.
Gyökeres or Sesko? Who is going to have a bigger impact next season?
I think it's Gyökeres. He's cheaper. He's going to score more goals.
Expected.
That's the really, really interesting point. He's been for his price point, incredible business.
Yeah.
He's a £120 million player.
Yeah.
It's the same as Alexander Isak in terms of value, and Arsenal have got him for 50, 60 million.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to argue that United spent more money on Benjamin Sesko, scored less goals in the last 3 seasons. I'm going to go with Viktor Gyokeres.
It's a full house for Viktor Gyokeres, which takes us into the next round, which means it's Viktor Gyokeres versus Joao Pedro. Who is going to have a better season?
Interesting. I'm
Tight
going
this.
Gyökeres straight in. Pedro, he's more acclimatized to the league. I like him as a player, but can he prove himself as a 9? That seems like that's what he wants to do. Seems like that's where you're going to play him. And he's also got the lap breathing down his neck as well. So he's got all the ingredients to make an impact. But Gyökeres, in my opinion, if he hits 20 goals, then we achieve great things.
Can I just make one point, and you can dismiss it, but this is my point. Premier League proven. Gyökeres, maybe. Joao Pedro, definitely.
No, I think that whole Premier League proven title has lost its way over the years, because in my day, and my day is your day, Premier League proven for a striker was a 20-goal-a-season striker in the league. Now, Premier League proven is 20 amongst all competitions. It's changed an awful lot in the last 20 years. For me, there's very few. Like people will say, Watkins is Premier League proven. He's never hit the 20-goal mark.
But he's consistently scored goals in the Premier League and got assists.
Yeah, but
How's
proven
that
at the Big Six level.
Since Emery took charge, he's like the third best player in terms of goals and assists, in terms of Salah, Haaland and Watkins. He's proven. And the 20 goals is a rarity in football.
To an extent.
Now, Joao Pedro has to score 20 goals because Gyökeres is going to score 20 goals. And if we're saying that...
jeopardy around that, though. Like, when Timo Werner landed, we all thought he was going to score loads of goals.
Yeah.
When I was young and Chelsea signed Matthias Kesman, we all thought he was going to score loads of goals. Shevchenko, yeah, it just didn't necessarily...
Environment is so important in football. Timo Werner played with a strike partner basically the entire time who was scoring loads of goals at Leipzig, and then he goes to Chelsea playing as a whole, either wide or by himself. It's massively important. I think what Joao Pedro's got is got a good team around him, right? Cole Palmer is undoubtedly one of the best attacking midfielders in the world, maybe one of the best players in the world. Supplying him with balls, we've already seen them combine. You've got 2 wingers, whoever you pick for Chelsea, because the depth is massive. There's enough quality there for Joao Pedro to score 20 goals. Is he going to do it is the question.
I'm arguing, even through the conversation, I'm more convinced that Joao Pedro is going to have a better, more impactful season than Viktor Gyokeres.
What do you base it on?
The goals that he's scored in the Premier League already, the big goals that he scored. Like, I remember watching Brighton play Marseille. He scored a winner in the last minute against Marseille, like big goals. Then he gets an opportunity playing for Chelsea in America. Bang, starts scoring straight away. Like, I just think that
But
there's more
Gyökeres
jeopardy
is-
around Gyökeres.
Gyökeres has done it in on the Champions League level, Europa League level, international level. I mean, all of these. I'm sorry, but
I just think there's jeopardy in the Premier League, and also maybe this is a slight difference. I've been burned far more than you have about signing forwards that come with huge reputation that don't necessarily land.
Yeah. Andrei Shevchenko,
Oh,
Kesman.
yeah. I mean, we could write a book here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It goes on and on. Whereas I just feel like Joao Pedro is about as guaranteed a striker as you can get. He's about as guaranteed to score goals in the Premier League as you can possibly sign.
We've seen Maresca rotate a lot, though, right? In the wide areas when there's options. Nicholas Jackson basically was your only 9 last season, so that's why he played so much.
Yeah.
And again, a player that's got some quality but doesn't score enough goals for Chelsea.
Yeah.
What happens when Joao Pedro is benched for Liam Delap, which will happen at some point? The form will flip and Liam Delap will score the
should
goals.
inspire each of them, though, shouldn't
It should do, and then potentially Pedro could play out wide. But at the same time, it just feels like that might be the issue of why Viktor Gyokeres is going to be a better
The
side.
target is 20 goals for Pedro, right? League.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Even
If
thinking
he's-
about it, that's too much for him.
If he's
right?
playing as a centre forward, if he's playing as our number 9, I think the target needs to be about 20 goals, yeah. Particularly when you think you've got an artist like Cole Palmer providing for him. So I'm convinced that Joao Pedro wins this, but should we put it to a vote?
Pedro's got more about his game. But if we're talking out and out striker, Gyökeres for me, 100 goals
I've loved
for 2
Pedro
years.
for years. Since he was at Watford, I think he's been an incredible addition to the Premier League, and it didn't surprise me that Chelsea bought him at all. I think it's about expectation and levels. The expectation isn't there for Joao Pedro, so the metric for success is lower, or the barometer is lower.
My guy, he's with me again. I can't
I am-
believe
I-
it's
I-
Just throw
finish,
one
let him
thing out there.
with me again, this guy. I can't believe
How much
I
did
love-
Chelsea
I love
sign
it.
him for?
50 million.
50 million quid.
No, 60 million.
60 million quid. So
No.
it's the same price as Viktor Gyokeres. So you're buying a player that's in his prime versus a player that has potential. It's the same kind of thing as
I think
Sesko
Joao
versus
Pedro-
Gyökeres.
Similar, very,
If we've gone
yeah.
with Gyökeres at that first one, we've got to go with Gyökeres because value for money,
Yeah.
you're getting value for money with Viktor Gyokeres as well versus Pedro.
Well, me and Flav disagree. Is that right?
I think they'll be fighting. They'll be fighting each
I'm
other.
going Joao Pedro. You're going?
I'm going Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
You're going?
Come on, Gyökeres.
Yeah, Gyökeres.
Okay, so we're at stalemate, but I've got the cue card. So Joao Pedro continues.
You're also correct.
I'm also correct. Also, I reckon Flav's vote counts double.
It counts double why?
yeah.
Because he's...
It's OG YouTube. Right, okay, so Joao Pedro is going to continue, Flav.
Yeah, 100%.
Let me host next
Right.
time, yeah?
Right, that means that it's Joao Pedro who's going to have a bigger season, more impactful season. Joao Pedro, Mohammed Kudus at Tottenham. This is in the bag. You know the answer to
He's not
this.
number 9.
No, but it's not about number 9s. Now it's just about impactful signings.
All right, give me a sec.
If Frank can find a tune out of Kudus in a similar way he did in Mbeumo, for example, I know different players, different positions, but if he can find the tune, Kudus is a quality player, both-footed. He's got a lot of strong attributes.
everything.
It's just
He
the
does.
mentality that might have let him down. So there is if we're talking hopes and beliefs, there's a chance.
Are you happy with the
Pedro
signing,
is-
Flav, when it landed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at his stats, his take-ons, his 3.1 take-ons every game.
Man of the stats.
Saw that
Never
earlier.
knew that.
Is his vote still worth double?
Saw that earlier. Better,
Still worth double, yeah?
one of the best in the league as well.
Yeah, but the thing I came back to, or previously spoke about, was the goal involvement's decreasing from year to year. I don't like that. I think the other issue with Spurs is they've got quite a lot of attackers now, right? They've got quite a lot of depth out wide. If Savinho comes in, you've got Brennan Johnson, Savinho, Kudus, Matheus Tell.
Kudus
You've
starts
got-
and plays every single game that he's available. There's no chance.
You definitely think he's in every single week.
Yes, without question. And I think Glenn
Kulusevski benched.
Kulusevski will play 10 with Maddison if they ever return from injury. So yeah, I think he will stay. And he's basically how impactful he's been this season will be is sort of directly linked to whether or not Spurs are actually a cohesive, well-oiled
That's
unit.
like rolling a dice.
Yeah, and I don't think it is actually. I think it's more of a sure thing than you think. But the problem we had with West Ham and what many players had at Tottenham this last season was that their sort of form reputation suffered because everything was on fire around their ears.
Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Which now means.
Do we have a vote, Rory, or just moving on? Yeah, moving on.
I
Yeah.
don't think we need to.
No, I don't think we need to.
Because that was unanimous.
Yep. Make sure you're part of football's ultimate free-to-play eliminator game, Final One Standing. There's a new jackpot launching every week, so even if you get knocked out, there's always a new game to enter and get involved. The rules are simple. Just pick one Premier League team to win each weekend. If they win, you're through to the next round. If they lose or draw, you're out. But there is a little bit of a twist. You can only pick a team once, so you got to think strategically. Just download the William Hill app, scan the QR code, or hit the link in the description of below to play. Do you think you've got what it takes to be the final one standing? Terms and conditions do apply. You've got to be over the age of 18 and based in the UK or Ireland. And please make sure you gamble responsibly.
Okay.
Can't wait for
Joao
this to come out.
Pedro or Florian Wirtz? Who's going to have a more impactful season?
I think Florian Wirtz is an incredible footballer and is about as sure bet as you possibly can have.
Premier League Player of the Year, don't you reckon?
Well, yeah, on paper, yes, I would say I'd agree with you straight away. But there's one thing it being written and one thing actually going out there for 38 games and doing it. Would the pressure of being a player worth that much money, would that have an impact on him? Are Liverpool going to be as good as we think? Is that going to have an impact?
He's going to become I think it's going to go swimmingly.
Really?
But he's going to be. If it doesn't go well, people are going to pin it on him.
He's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders.
Yeah. There is, but then he had that responsibility at Leverkusen, didn't he? So he's already kind of done it and won the league title for them in the first nearly won the treble. There's so much quality there.
He's mustard, isn't he?
There's a lot of quality in terms of on the ball, off the ball, scores goals. He's got everything. The only thing you'd look at is this is a transfer of a player that's maybe not as physically built as a usual Premier League signing. A little bit like Mario Götze in that ilk. Really good close control, top quality on the football, but has he got the power to play in the Premier League? 38 games, the consistency. I think he's going to have a average year by his own standards this season, and then I think the seasons after he will start to become this superstar.
If he has an average year this year, then
it's still going to be a good. Like when I talk average, we're talking like 22 goal involvement. So he's going to be part of it, but it feels like this is a signing for the future, which it should be.
22 goals and assists.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, no, it is. I'm not sorry. I wasn't having a Joao Pedro could easily get 22 goals and assists this year.
The difference will be though. Florian Wirtz is going to be part of a winning machine. He's going to be part of a team that wins at least 2 trophies.
They come second in the league, though, Rory.
But that expectation and that pressure could be the, downfall.
Yeah. It could be. Of course it could. Look, there's no such thing as a sure signing, but I just think that signing Florian Wirtz is about as close to a sure signing as you can get. When Manchester City were looking at rebuilding their midfield, like Pep Guardiola 4.0, and it looked like that was going to be centred around the signing Florian Wirtz, didn't it? That to me made so much sense.
Yeah.
That to me was like the perfect signing. Whereas, sorry, I'm just mate. No, you weren't. You were yawning at me.
He's had enough of you.
Sorry,
He's bored of Joao Pedro. I was not yawning,
mate. Like when Man City were going to kind of regenerate around Florian Wirtz, it made so much sense, and I thought he was capable of doing that. So I just think that the ceiling is almost non-existent.
I'm going to go Wirtz, but Liverpool are changing up the way they play this. I mean, that creativity from right back has gone and it's come in a different shape, and Wirtz is now the creative hub in that team centrally. So there is pressure on him. The slot has to get it right. But like you said, the closest thing to a surefire signing, Wirtz, even for the figure. Yeah, he's quality.
I think he's lucky that Mohamed Salah's still at the football club. I think that's a big thing because of the chances they'll create. Yeah. You've got a guy that scores goals in Premier. Then you look at the rest of it. That's the bit part of the team where you think that could be really good. That right-hand side of the pitch. Yeah. So left-hand side of the pitch, probably equal or not better than last season. But with Florian Wirtz in those positions, if he gets it right, and I do think playing with Dominic Szoboszlai as a 2, like he did last season, where he played almost Luis Diaz a false 9, that's where he has to get to. But that's going to be very difficult to get to that with Hugo Ekitike as well. So there's a lot of questions there of how it all blends together, and I think that's why it's going to be next season, I think, where we'll see the true Florian Wirtz.
But for the vote here, Wirtz versus
definitely Joao Pedro. We've taken him this far. We may as well take him this for get him the title, right?
I think it's Florian Wirtz.
Yeah,
I think it's Wirtz. Okay, so Wirtz goes through, which takes us on to our final round, And just think about it. Think about the impact, think about the expectation, and think about the club that he's gone to. In terms of who's going to be a more impactful signing for the club that they've gone to, is it Florian Wirtz or is it Jack Grealish going to Everton? Mate, I think Jack Grealish is going to revolutionise Everton.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Jack Grealish, there are some signings. Of course, Florian Wirtz is a better player. I'm not suggesting that. And I think that Florian Wirtz is going to win the league. But they already won the league. I think that sometimes you get a player that goes into a club and elevates the standard. The whole tide rises when that player lands. In the way that it's not comparable to Wirtz again. But I think Granit Xhaka going to Sunderland is a wicked signing and could be really high on this list in the metrics that we're using. Jack Grealish to Everton, it's big.
It's an incredible signing by Everton.
I agree.
I do, and I would have liked him at Spurs, right? But I just do worry a little bit about what happened. He went from treble winning intrinsic to that team to being kind of frozen out. So something has happened.
Only one bad season though. I think like last season was poor.
I mean,
Played
but he's only had
7
one
games.
good season. That's how I look.
Did he
at
have one
it.
good season?
Great at Villa.
I'd
Great
say
at
the
Villa.
treble. I'd say the treble year was
Was
good.
he integral to that team?
Not great, good.
He played a lot. Well,
Yeah, but he played a lot of games, but he consistently would get the ball and he'd move the ball back in. He wasn't he wasn't the guy doing anything. It wasn't Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland. He wasn't impactful in that side. And if you look at him at Manchester City, stoppable. Flav, right?
Yeah.
Watchable.
Thinkable.
Gave the defenders confidence.
I think that's unfair. I
think that season he was wicked.
Believable.
No, that season Grealish was undoubtedly good. And look, overall from Man City, it has to go down as a successful signing.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Well,
But they're going to get 50 million.
Scored
back.
12 league goals.
They're going to get 50 million quid.
No,
only
it's
cost
a
them
loan
50
with
million
option to buy.
hang on a second. Look,
Loan to option to buy.
when was Grealish at his peak?
Villa, my opinion.
Yeah,
last season at Villa.
I'm not taking anything away from his Man City form. I'm just saying, as he goes back to sort of that size of a football club, he's now given an opportunity to be that guy again, to express himself. And so, to answer the question,
Is going to allow that? Is David Moyes the kind of manager?
yeah, I think if you're buying him, you have to allow that. Otherwise, why? But he might not be. But he's also not an idiot.
Think about David Moyes over the years, though. I suppose Paqueta, he allowed to play.
One or two of
And there's a couple in Dye they've got at the moment, if I pronounce that right.
Yeah,
He allows him to play. So why wouldn't he allow Grealish to play? I think it's a really good signing for Everton. I think it's a really good platform without the pressures that existed at Man City for Grealish. And to answer your question, which is what this is about, who will have the more impressive season? It's still Florian Wirtz, but he will.
You baited me in there. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
I think he will have a really good, exciting season. I think
Come the end of the season, how highly are we talking about Jack Grealish in his season? What do you think? How do you think this goes?
I think this could go really badly.
Do you?
I really do. I think there's a problem there if it doesn't start well for him. His confidence is shot. He's not played anywhere near the level at Villa for a few seasons now. I think we're all in agreement there. And you've got to completely change everything, right? You've got to change your mentality. You've got to start enjoying things. You've got to score goals. You've got to make things happen. It's so much pressure for him to be Everton's player right now, considering Everton, they let 12 players go. They're in a bit of a transition. It's so big in terms of the pressure for Jack Grealish. New stadium. There's so much on his shoulders. And he fumbled it at City. The pressure was him to be City's main guy, main English guy.
That sounds so harsh, Dave. Do you really see it that way? Fumbled it at City. Do you not?
I think he did. I think he did 100 million quid for Jack Grealish. Absolute garbage, that. Yeah. Not good enough in terms of a signing. 100 million quid.
I see it so
for 12 goals.
When you mention mentality, even the move to Everton is to stay close to where he is. Where he is where the downfall began. It was probably better for him to seek pastures new, maybe abroad.
He looked like
or
going to
something.
Naples at one point.
That would have been good for
Would have
him.
been better for him.
But then he's playing under Antonio Conte. If he doesn't work out with Guardiola, I don't know if it's going to work out with Conte, is it?
Yeah,
but I want to throw a sign into the table to challenge Florian Wirtz.
Go on.
Matheus Cunha for Manchester United.
Do you think he could be that?
I think this could be a big signing for the future.
You picked Cunha over Mbeumo to put forward?
Yeah, I think Mbeumo is going to score goals. Right, very, very quick, runs in behind, finishes really well. 20 Premier League goals, you can't argue with that. But I just think the talismanic nature of what Matheus Cunha does will massively improve Manchester United's football. And I think that's a big thing. The football has not been great for years now. And I think he's the type of player that's carried teams on his back. Wolves is a great example of that in the Premier League. His explosive nature from outside the box as well, scores a lot of goals at, first goal in the game from outside the area. I think he's got vision, creativity. I just think he's a player that's massively undervalued. And for United right now, could be humongously impactful.
Still Florian Wirtz, though.
Does anybody else want to put any other signings forward? Who do you believe is going to have an impact? So I mentioned Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
I think Granit Xhaka, it could be the biggest impact of the lot, because if he keeps them up, that is the biggest impact. Sunderland staying up is a bigger impact than Liverpool in the
That would be a humongous impact, but that is probably too far-fetched in a sense of that's going to be so hard for Sunderland. They've signed some, again, I like their signings. You know, they've bought players that fit a system, that are young, and that's their idea. But are they close enough to, let's say, a Brentford that might struggle without Thomas Franken and Mbeumo? No.
I think the potential of Zubimendi's up there.
Yeah, Zubimendi.
If he comes in and does what he's been doing over the last few years, that's a new lease of life for our midfield.
So we're just throwing in our own players now, are we?
Go on then.
Palhinha.
You know what? I actually like that shout. Under Thomas Frank, he's going to win so many tackles. Man's going to be throwing it around in midfield.
get Norgard
ball
in there as
back,
well,
two
then.
footers.
I've got one for
I
you.
like that.
He won 300 tackles in 2 seasons in Premier League.
Yeah.
Only the next one closest to that was
200 odd.
no Casado, 191.
There you go.
200 odd. That is, you can't say no. He said,
Sorry, yes,
bang
yes,
on right.
yeah.
He couldn't have been more right there.
Yeah, but that's
He was 9 away.
No,
he was
you're right.
9.
Apologies.
Yeah.
And that's his brand. Sorry.
He was
That is
9.
dangerous.
Yeah.
He nearly got me sacked over it.
But going back to
I was gone.
going back to Cunha though, I see problems with Cunha and Bruno. I just think their characters are going to clash. We might see a Bowyer.
I don't think so. I think they're both winners.
so
They
bad.
both care.
But I think Cunha, when it's not going well for him, you'll see him walking around.
That's good. That's a good thing.
It's a
Why,
good
why have we
thing
forgot
in
about Wayne
doses.
Rooney? His entire career, he was annoyed with people.
Yeah,
Playing
but that's a
angry.
good thing.
He played angry.
100%.
I want players that play angry. We've had
Leeds
too
to
many
do that
players
as
that
well.
can't be bothered to even put the shirt on recently.
I get that.
There we have it. So just to check that we're totally unanimous, the signing with the most impact is Florian Wirtz. He is going to be the signing of the summer. But who do you think is going to be the best signing? Let us know in the comments. And remember to click the link in the description for your chance to win the new jackpot in Final One Standing. Thank you again for watching WHFC. If you want to watch our Premier League title race preview, click the link that's on the screen now. This show was brought to you by William Hill. 18 plus, please gamble responsibly.